If somebody asked you to name the top 3 countries for agricultural export, the Netherlands probably wouldn't feature. But in actuality, the Dutch have masterfully played the exportation game to their advantage, and in doing so have become the second largest agricultural exporter in the world. In the agricultural sector, the Dutch are predominantly known for producing high-quality goods in terms of vegetables, tomatoes and chilies, dairy, cheese and milk, in addition to numerous kinds of flowers and plants. Therefore, they're not only voluminous in their terms of how much they physically shift, but also in the quality of their products. So, how did the Netherlands manage to conquer the market and take over? As the Dutch themselves would say, laten we leren. First of all, their geography certainly doesn't hinder progress. The combination of moderate climate, in addition to the country's flat land and fertile soil, means that the Netherlands has near-perfect conditions for farming plants, vegetables, fruit, poultry and meat. To capitalize on these naturally occurring advantages, Dutch farmers have also implemented a vast number of greenhouses so that the products they grow have the absolute best conditions in which to grow, under light 24/7, 365 days a year. They have extreme light pollution. These meticulously climate-controlled greenhouses, which from above look like massive mirrors stretched over the landscape, are more green complexes than greenhouses. Some are as large as 175 acres. Tomatoes, potatoes and onions, which the Netherlands in particular is renowned for, are all grown within these gargantuan buildings. The greenhouses have also helped reduce dependence on water for crops by as much as 90%, and helped them close to abandoning use of chemical pesticides on plants. From within, tomato vines as big as 20 feet tall can be seen, fertilized with fish waste. The sight may be surprising to some, but it's this push in innovation which is allowing the Netherlands to be a real competitor in the agricultural world, in addition to keeping their growing methods ethical and sustainable. Although the Netherlands does indeed have wonderful conditions for farming and agriculture, that doesn't mean that there is an abundance of land to actually farm on. The Netherlands, in fact, is a very densely populated country. 1,300 inhabitants per square mile. And not only is the Netherlands densely populated, but it's also, relatively speaking, a very small country. 17 million people live there, despite the Netherlands being 6 times smaller than the United Kingdom and 237 times smaller than the United States. But working in this environment actually turned out to be positive. The agricultural land comes at a premium, forcing the farmers who overtake the acres to produce premium quality food at an efficient pace. As an example, the Netherlands can produce 144,352 tons of tomatoes per square mile, surpassing the following 24 countries by a wide margin. The conditions which Dutch farmers work under has, ultimately, been a predominant factor in the Netherlands becoming a powerhouse of an agricultural exporter. Secondly, the Netherlands back their agricultural economy by putting resources into training future agricultural workforces. The Wageningen University, for example, is the world's #1 educational institution to study agriculture and food and drink development. Fully funded scholarships are offered to prospective agricultural students, as are PhDs, BAs and MAs. Students all across Europe and even other continents, particularly Asian students from Indonesia to China, travel to Wageningen University, the Van Hol Laurenstein University of Applied Sciences, and the Ares University of Applied Sciences. The Netherlands are well aware of their pivotal position in the exports market, and are maintaining their legacy by furthering the nation's agricultural knowledge and exporting it. Considering the Earth's population is set to reach 10 million people and climate change is only going to make famine more common and unpredictable, the Netherlands' agricultural education exports are greatly welcomed. These agricultural education exports range from using grasshoppers, 150 tons of protein per hectare, as an alternative to feeding animals grain, soy, 1 ton per hectare, to offsetting nutrient-deficient soil by cultivating plants that act in symbiosis with certain bacteria to produce their own fertilizer, as well as many other ways to increase agricultural yield while decreasing the use of water and fossil fuels. In addition to education and training, the Dutch are adept and are innovators of agricultural technology, otherwise known as agritech. From the deployment of robots to physically pick ripe fruit to having automated mechanical food separators and processors, the Netherlands are capitalizing on technology and innovation to increase productivity and profitability. Even drones are now being deployed to extract valuable information on soil chemistry, nutrition, and overall growth from their daily overhead flights above crop fields. Really, it's their melding of the natural with the man-made which helps push the Netherlands' exportation game upwards and onwards. If all of the aforementioned points aren't enough, the Netherlands also have another reason for their claim to fame: infrastructure. There's the harbour ports of Amsterdam and Rotterdam, and two very large, very active airports in both Schiphol and Rotterdam. When you add the superior railway system which operates in the Netherlands and the well-looked-after smooth paved roads, it's no wonder why the Dutch are ahead of the game. All of these modes of transport ultimately equate to better, faster exporting of goods. Their location in Central Europe, one of the richest regions in the world, only bolsters their ability to shift and ship premium products not only around Europe, but across the globe. Now that we've covered how the Netherlands achieved such an important position in the agricultural exporting world, let's examine which countries buy the bulk of Dutch goods. Coming in at first place is Germany. Around 23.4 billion euros of total exports were shifted from the Netherlands to Deutschland last year, which amounts to a massive 25% of exports coming from the Netherlands. Then, in second place is Belgium, Britain at third, and France in fourth. It has recently come to light that while exports to France and Belgium have indeed risen in the past year, exports to Britain have started rapidly falling. Economists and analysts have put this down to the decreased value of the pound since Brexit was announced in early 2016. Despite Brexit, the Netherlands' exports to the rest of Europe certainly cements the country as one of the best agricultural exporters in the world. In fact, last year they broke their own record. Their exports totaled 92 billion euros, placing them at second place, while the United States remains at the helm of the market. The United States has a number of advantages going for it, such as access to land for farming, which is certainly just one of the factors which put the US at number one. But will Amsterdam eventually take over and clinch the top spot for themselves? Maybe. After all, in business, it's anyone's game. All we can do meanwhile is sit back, eat a sustainably grown tomato or two, and wait for next year's results to be announced. Well, thanks for watching. If you didn't like this video, well, you know what to do. But if you liked it, hit that button and get subscribed.